Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's...
Take me to your leader. It's an alien.
Oh my goodness. Are these things ever going to end? Another congressional investigation into UFOs?
And there's going to be a next. I don't know if you caught that. Like it was so low key, but a lot of really interesting things were said. The thing that impressed me, and we're talking about there's a hearing concerning UFOs. It's an ongoing. This is the second one.
There were three witnesses.
Yeah, there's three witnesses, different witnesses in the first hearing.
One was a pilot.
Yeah.
One was someone who was involved in Project Blue Book.
Yeah. Those, and I forget what the other one was.
Yeah, there's a third
But
one.
what got me, for those who are listening, is the credentials of these witnesses. They are the pilot who saw the Tic Tac, and some of our audience may remember the Tic Tac incident, and that's just the name they called it because it was a giant Tic Tac looking thing.
It's probably the most famous sequence
Yeah.
of video that we have from a forward-looking infrared fighter camera.
Yeah, and the thing was, and by the way, those who are getting sick and tired like me of grainy images and cartoon setups,
Yep.
that pilot said he saw a full-scale, beautiful image of it from the cameras that were taking it, and it had two little leggy things out the bottom of it.
But we have no visual confirmation of those claims.
No, and the only thing that really stands up is that this pilot was the leader of his squadron. So he was the commander. He also was a veteran commander of this, doing what they're doing. And I think I should tell the people as quick as I can about why this is more than just what you saw on TV. For 2 weeks, that the naval group was out, and for 2 weeks they were seeing things drop from space at 80,000 feet, which they could pick up with their radar, 80,000 feet to the ground, to the ocean, in seconds. Like, just unbelievable. So for 2 weeks they were this. They thought it was the radar was down because they had a brand new radar system put in, but it wasn't. Radar was working fine. So one of these things fell from the heavens again, and they were dispatched out to intercept it. Now, I don't know how far away it was. These are the top jets you can fly, so could have been 150 miles out. They would have got there in minutes. So anyways, they fly out to see it, and the waters were calm, the weather was calm, there was no wind, and here's this Tic Tac thing going back and forth like a ping pong over disturbing ocean water. It's disturbing. And later on, he said he definitely believes 100% there was something under the water, and this was communicating with the thing under the water. Why the water was disturbed, he didn't know. But he told a couple of the planes, you stay up high, we're going to go, me and Harry, I don't know what the guy's name was, we're going to go down and take a closer look. So as we went down, the Tic Tac started coming up, and then it started following them. And then it turned around and ended up in front of them. Then it shut down all of the jet's radar and defense systems, shut it down. Then it shot off like a bat out of hell, and then the dispatch on the boat radioed him as the commander, says, you're not going to believe this. It just reappeared 60 miles away. So the commander said, you do the math. It went from...
How fast?
How fast do you go? It was 1 minute, and it was 60 miles from me. So he says, and so one of the reasons it's important, one of the reasons he became a whistleblower is because he does believe it's a danger.
To the pilots.
Well, to the pilots, but also to the United States defense. He says because, number one, he said it flat out. I believe they're off-world. That's what he said. He said it quickly, but that's what he said. And, the other guy testifies that even more to that. But he said the reason he came forward, all three of them agreed to this too. If someone gets a hold of these things, like engineers it, reverse engineers it, there's nothing they can't do. Because he said flat out, they played with us. They're just playing with us.
Isn't one of the allegations that they have, in fact, the U.S. has, in fact, reverse engineered?
Well, that was the middle guy. He said, and again, high credentials. These guys aren't just nobodies. They're people that are high, putting their lives on the line by coming forward. And he says they've got them. They call them bionics? No, what do you call it? A plant, flesh.
Biological?
No, what are we made of? If we're an organism, and what are we? We're
Human?
oh, for God's sakes! He said we
no
have
idea what you're talking about.
well, yeah. Anyways, he said yes, they've recovered pilots'
Bodies.
bodies, and they said, are they human bodies? And he goes, no.
So there are organic life forms.
Organics. That's the word, Terry. Thank you. He says, yes, we found organics. And then they
Okay.
said, are they human organics? And he said, no.
No, because we're talking about G-forces that are beyond the
Well,
ability
that's the
of-
other thing. They said, we just have nothing. Man can't do that.
No, our bones would detach from our flesh.
Yeah. And the thing he said most, and he really wanted to emphasize it, he said, they're playing with us. They just literally play with us.
Okay, so
they're not,
play-
they have no fear.
So playing is a term. Are we talking about the aliens are treating us like little
Kids.
infants?
Yes.
So we are for their amusement.
Well, no.
How do we generate?
They're letting. I think they're letting us know, technology-wise, you're just cute. You know what I mean? It'd be like, I don't know, a little kid in a red wagon, and you're on a 10-speed bike. You're just cute.
Now, one of the fears of the pilots was that the stuff is getting too close to them, and I think you said, shot up between a formation of two fighter planes. It came right up in between the
It
two
was
of them,
a cube.
and it was a cube,
A
not a
cube.
tic tac.
A cube. And yeah, and that pilot also said, this isn't just a one-time thing, folks. This is happening all of the time. They're there. Whatever they are, they're there. And we got to find out what they are for the sake of the security of the United States, because if they're our adversaries, they're way advanced, way beyond us.
Do we have any evidence that it's adversarial?
Well, I say absolutely not, because if the adversaries had that, they would have already waged war, and they would have taken over. And that's what he said. With what the technology they have, they can appear anywhere at any time, and we have not a thing we can do.
Okay, let's go to the big question, and that is, if we're all interested in this stuff, do they walk among us?
Yeah, well, that I don't know. And what are they? I saw I wish I remembered his name, but one of the closed sessions, I think one of the senders came out of, and one guy was saying, come on, with all the satellites we got and with all the phones we got, and there's never a good picture, they just get right by us. And then the senator said, unless they're multi-dimensional, and walked away. And he goes, what? But the senator already walked off, right? So we don't know, and I don't know if they know yet at this particular time
So
what it is.
there are public inquiries, which is the one we were able to watch. Then there's the behind closed doors stuff, the stuff
that
that gets redacted printouts. We can't see.
Well,
what.
is that another thing? I mean, the first one you and I watched, they made it very clear. That's for behind. That's
closed doors.
Yeah, you're not going to get to see it. That's for behind closed door. But did you notice they said the same thing, only
Yep.
this time a lot lighter?
Yes.
I can't say that right now. That's for the next session, which is closed door. And that's why, again, not as many as before, but you saw just a number of seats with reserved on it. That's for the closed session. They've already been briefed on everything we just heard, and they're going into whatever it is next. So it's serious. Like, this is what you got to understand. The government ain't going to waste its time with Adam Schiff and all of these top senators going through this game. They're not going to do it. So there's something up. And I know...
Are you talking about congressional hijinks?
No, I'm talking there's something there. And I don't know if they're preparing us to... I mean, even as it is right now, you realize today, if they announced at 6 o'clock tonight, we are going to announce the fact that we are not alone in the universe, and we've got some wonderful news to tell you. Do you realize that most of the population would say, well, that's dinner time, or Timmy has to go to a soccer game? They don't care. And I think we've been conditioned to not really care. Like, you and me aren't afraid, and I don't even know if you think anything's there. I do, but I'm not afraid. You know what I mean? Like, I'm more curious. Like, what is it? Because the government won't come forward. No government's coming forward and saying it's nonsense. We have scientists. We have other people saying, nah, it can't be. We have, all kinds of astronomers and stuff saying, no, I don't think so. But the government will not. And they're spending a lot of money on this now for 2 years on this commission to find out the information. There's a reason for that, and there's a reason they haven't just said that this is just nonsense. Those guys are telling them things behind those closed doors that matter of fact, I wish I had heard the guy that we don't like all that much, Cruz. I think
Ted
Cruz
Cruz?
said he said something. He said something in that, and I was going to the washroom or something. And he said something that was very interesting. I thought he said,
I think
have
it was Matt
seen
Gates.
that.
Because it was a congressional, it wasn't a senator. It wasn't a Senate commission.
It's the guy that was charged with molesting young girls.
Matt Gates.
Oh, Gates. Okay. All right, him. Sorry. Anyways, he said something. I thought he said, we saw the evidence. I thought he said that.
Yeah, okay.
You saw the evidence? So I'd have to go back and do it all again, and I should have rewound it.
So they are there, but we don't know who they are, what they are, and we don't know if they are walking among us because they might be squids and they might be slithering among us.
Well, that's the other thing. You know, you can be kind of humanoid looking and be a praying mantis type thing.
Whoa. The mind races at such thoughts, Jim. There's a novel coming.
Skeletal. I can never say that word.
Exoskeletons?
You know
Yeah, like insects.
Yeah. What if they're like that? I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
they're too frightened.
So
to
they're
look at.
projected. They're protected from G-forces because their mushy parts are on the inside of their skeletons.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Mushy parts. Are on
What
the
do they
inside.
need us for besides entertainment? Why are they
Well,
treating us?
one person's convinced they're actually taking the water and taking it to a base on the moon.
Ah, so that would explain the sloshing sound on the moon.
Well, I guess we're going to see, folks, aren't we?
We are going to see something. Will we live long
Or not,
enough?
or not.
Or not. I'll go with the or not, Johnny, for 200.
All right.
Thank you. Jim and Terry Show signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye for now.
All right.